expect winter weather tomorrow night. I said to myself, no shit. What did they think we'd be expecting? Summer? How stupid does New York State think we are? Well, fast forward 2 miles down the road, the next sign said, expect light traffic to Jones Beach. I hate when my wife... I hate when my wife decides to have potato chips at inopportune times. Especially when I'm watching TV. Recently we were watching Jaws, and I still don't know what Brody needed. He said, we're gonna need a bigger... Another time, we were watching The Godfather, and Marlon Brando says, I'm going to make you an offer that you can't. As you heard, I work for the Long Island Railroad. My job is to teach conductors. I try to focus on things that conductors face in their everyday, day-to-day living. Issues like how to tell someone that they're now out in Montauk when their original destination was Rockville Center. Or how to work a train full of drunk Ranger fans. Or, most importantly, how to retire with a full disability. I love jury duty. Love jury duty. However, listen up everybody, I found a surefire way to get out of jury duty. I contact them incessantly. I call them, I email them, and I write them letters asking to be on the jury. I recently got a letter from the supervisor of jurors saying, Mr. Boyle, you may be too desperate to serve on jury duty. I said, what do you mean desperate? He said, we mean desperate by you sent the Nassau County Commission of Jurors a gift basket. I'm at an age where my shoelaces are often untied. I'm just too lazy to untie them. I just can't be bothered to go down there. Very often people say to me, your shoelaces are untied, and I usually ignore them. Last week, a beautiful brunette approached me in Penn Station. She looked at me right in the eyes. She grabbed me by the wrist, and she said, sir, can I help you up? I said, thank you, but I can't get up. I said, could you call an ambulance? My family and I recently traveled out to Las Vegas. We went out there to spread my father's ashes. We figured there's no place better to spread my father's ashes, as he loved no place better than the Bunny Ranch. Once in Vegas, my wife and I settled in, we unpacked, and we went out to meet the family. After dinner, we all decided to go and swim. Shortly thereafter, a random person in the pool found a $20 bill, and then another one, and then someone found a $50 bill. This went on and on for a while. I looked over and I said to my wife, I said, honey, what did you do with our emergency cash? She said, oh, I hid it in your bathing suit pocket. My son and I stayed last summer at a lakeside Airbnb. Let's just say it was not as advertised. We shared a house with a mother, a father, and their 2 young kids. And evidently, this family has had no contact with human beings in quite some time. They were desperate for human interaction. It kind of got weird. One time, my son and I wanted to play cards. And we didn't have any cards. Sure enough, within a minute, there was a knock on the door, and the little boy came with a deck of cards. Not too long after that, I realized I forgot deodorant. Right away, a knock on the door, the little girl gave me deodorant. We thought they were spying on us. The final straw came when I went to the bathroom, and I clogged the toilet. Immediately, there was a knock on the door, and there was Mom, and she said, "That was some poop." We decided to sneak out of the house right then and there, and we went to a hotel. The next morning we woke up, we went down to the hotel lobby, and there they were. Not only did they find us, they saved us two chairs at their table for breakfast. Evidently, they're also here with us tonight. Airbnb family, thank you for your support. My wife does not like me smoking cigars. I told her I quit. Last summer I was at a backyard barbecue, and I snuck away with some of the guys to have a cigar. I was loving it, loving my cigar. All of a sudden, I heard the unmistakable noise behind me. I was busted. She said, "Jimmy, you're grounded. And I don't want you hanging around with those guys anymore."
Thank you.
And for God's sake, stop embarrassing me. Tie your shoelaces. By the grace of God, on Thursday, I will celebrate 35 years sober. It hasn't always been without temptation. In early sobriety, I was invited to a friend's bachelor party. I was called up to the center of the room, and Coco, the dancer, said, "This is what we're going to do." She says, "I'm going to start pouring beer down my chest, and you just lick it off. Okay?" I said, "Not okay." I said, "I can't do that. I don't drink." Well, after some back and forth, the show went on. Later that night, Coco approached me, and she leaned in and said, "You're the only guy ever to drink Diet Coke off of my tits." My wife and I love pizza. Fortunately, we live in Massapequa, sometimes referred to as Massa Pizza. There must be 12 pizza places in our town. Which pizza place is my wife's favorite? The one in Babylon. The one 5 towns away. How do I know it's 5 towns? Massapequa, Massapequa Bar, Amityville, Copenhagen, Linda's, Babylon. She really loves Babylon pizza. On Valentine's Day, we went out for dinner. Where do we go? Pizza in Babylon. 5 towns away. Massapequa, Massapequa Park, Amityville, Copenhagen, Lindenhurst, and Babylon. We ended up having a very romantic dinner at Domino's. And before you know it, we were on our way back. Babylon, Lindenhurst, Copenhagen, Amityville. And we fell asleep. Next thing you know, the conductor's waking us up in Penn Station. We were disoriented and confused. The conductor was compassionate and friendly. It was obvious that he had been trained well. In January, my wife and I celebrated 30 years of marriage. We celebrated by renewing our vows on a beautiful beach in Hawaii. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. After we repeated our vows, the priest said, I have a few words of advice to you that will guarantee you another 30 years of a happy marriage. My ears lit up. He said, whenever you guys happen to have a fight, never go to bed without... Good night, everybody. Thank you.